Why is everyone saying you're a bad Muslim on this?
Oh, because I eat pork. I don't care. I do everything.
You're like a liberal Muslim.
The joke is the one thing
Which is an
Muslim.
oxymoron, liberal Muslim. But Osmongold just said, "Hey, I'm a Muslim," because he doesn't drink or eat pork, which is all he knows about Islam.
Don't do
It's pork.
is pork, and even then, I don't care about that either. So that's why I'm a bad Muslim.
He eats pork.
You are a bad Muslim.
Yeah.
What would you describe your religious affiliation as?
I mean, I say I'm culturally Muslim, but like it's because I grew up in a Muslim country, you know, I'm a Muslim family. But the way I see it is like if there is a Jannah, when I get there, I don't think God is gonna be like, you ate some pork, man. That's pretty f***ed up. You know, you tried to be a good person your whole life, but a little bit of pork, I don't know about that. That's just the way I think about it.
Well, it's true. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
it's not
Allah is the most merciful and is all forgiving. He's like like gorging on pork while saying this. It's interesting too. He's saying culturally Muslim. This is what Jordan Peterson says, and so many right-wing chuds say about Christianity. They don't claim it, but Elon will lean into Christianity. Osmongold's an atheist, and he'll say he's going to join the Crusades. Culturally Christian.
condemn you to hell. So you're a cultural Muslim.
Cultural Muslim, liberal Muslim, aka I'm joking.
I'm going to send you to hell because you eat pork. That's true. I mean, everything that you said there is true. He's not going to send you hell because you eat pork. These are all forgivable things.
Yeah.
True.
That's the way I see it.
Do you believe in God, though?
I don't know.
You're agnostic.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't even know. Okay, so he actually is. He doesn't know if he believes in God?
I ask you all these questions because it's interesting to me, like, what your moral compass is. Like, where do you get your moral compass from?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not religion.
So where does it come from?
The way I see it is moral compass wise, like I think of everyone as I would myself. Like do unto others what you would want others to do to you is my.
That's a religious phrase, a religious quote.
But I don't
So
think
you're getting that moral philosophy.
like,
Yeah, you want for your brothers what you want for yourself.
I didn't learn it from religion, is what I mean. I'm just like, this is my own.
But you see, if we don't
assessment.
come from anything, right? If we come from nothing,
Dawa.
then what is moral and what is immoral? Because if there's no God that exists and we're all here by pure coincidence and chance, and we're just then essentially a bunch of chemicals, right? That have come together and formed this biological mass. So therefore, like, nothing that you do is ethical or unethical. It's just a change of configuration of chemicals. So that's what I mean about, like, then where does the moral compass come from? Like, what's this inside you that's telling you that this is right and this is wrong? Is it a feeling? And if it is
Funny,
a feeling,
he's saying it comes from himself, but he's saying he's culturally Muslim. So these Islamic ideas about treating your brothers as you want to be treated, it comes from Islam. It's not something that he invented.
right?
feeling.
That this is right or wrong, then that feeling is just a dopamine hit. It's just chemicals again.
For sure. But
So
the
this
way
is what I
see
mean
it
about,
is
if you think about it really deeply, if you don't believe in God and you just believe that we are just a bunch of we're just some biology with some chemicals, then you saying, like, I'm doing this because this is what feels right. This is what I think this is what makes me feel good, so I make someone else feel good. What you're basically saying is this chemical process in my brain, I'm reciprocating this chemical process in my brain, which again then has no meaning, because then doing something bad to someone is just a different form of chemical messages. So that's, again, it comes back to the question of where do you get your moral compass from? Sorry about going into theology, guys. I know I'm a doctor, but I didn't tell you I was also a doctor of philosophy. I'm not a doctor of philosophy, by the way, but I'm just throwing it out there. So go on, tell me.
I think human beings are here for a short period of time. And as a human being myself, I want to maximize my own enjoyment. And I want to limit the amount of pain that I experience.
No.
Say wallahi, bro. Say wallahi.
He's here for a good time, not a long time.
In moderation, of course. There's, there is even more enjoyment that you can derive out of, like, periods of adversity and struggle in the end. And if that's what I want for myself, then I assume others also want that as well. And as long as, I can get other people on board with this code of conduct to the best of my ability, then I believe that everyone else will be able to live in a better world.
Because religion is
to try and
socialism.
minimize others' suffering to the
Sounds
best
like
of
you.
to the best of our collective ability.
Maybe he
Yeah,
changed.
I
since then.
understand.
This was like a
Still
year
doesn't
ago.
quite answer where he gets his moral compass from, but I appreciate him trying.
Yeah, he's ducking the question. He kind of avoided it.
That's
Nice catch
just
by
how
this
it
guy.
is. Like, I don't care if it's like probability or God. I think as long as the outcome is like that you're working to better mankind, better society,
Yeah.
Okay, but what is objective good? What is objective bad?
others alleviate pain,
Define
and
good.
that's great.
I genuinely respect that. I want to see a better society for everyone. So, of all these religions right now, which one do you think makes the most sense?
I don't think any. I think it's all a
So you
contextual.
think they're all irrational?
No, I think it's all a contextualization of experiences that we've had, and to try and decipher the undecipherable, the unknowable, and create. Social standards so that we can live in a cohesive society.
Yeah.
I think it has a great purpose for instilling solidarity for a lot of people. Like, I'm not anti-religion at all.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that like it has a use, and I feel like it also gives people's lives meaning. So in that sense, it's great if people, as long as they don't use cynically what their interpretation of religion is to harm others or to try and justify a set of standards that.
Please, brother, is this Aki gonna ask him to define objective morality? Please get to that.
Would
Please,
limit
bro.
people's
I think he
liberties,
will.
then I'm fine. You can practice whatever you want to practice. But I see religion more so as a tool
Right. A tool for who? For what?
to instill some kind of social cohesion, to create like a set of
This
rules.
is the effect that happens when people leave their religion because they think that organized religion is wrong, and it's really their impression of Christianity. And Hassan thinks that Christianity has been used as a tool of empire, and there's a valid argument there, especially in the West with the British Empire, the American Empire, the Roman Empire. And so he sees it as a way to keep social order. So his rejection of Islam is because he criticizes evangelical Christianity so much, and also Zionism in Israel, right? Because it's colonized the world, it's oppressed people, and I think he's applying that logic to Islam as well.
Like you said,
That's true.
right from wrong.
Yeah.
Best practice.
Or maybe just Turkish.
Yeah.
Is he just Turkish, chat?
and
But-
also
But that in itself, right? Yeah, is also an evidence you could say of God itself. Because if say, it's is a form of like it creates a set of rules and a social cohesion. Religion does. Then if there was a God and there was a creator, that's what he would want. He would want there to be social cohesion. So he brings about this set of rules to bring social cohesion. So that same
Which is
argument.
literally everything he does on his stream, is try to find social cohesion with socialism. He thinks that this way of governing society is the correct way, and it should follow these rules that socialism provides. That's another religion.
which people say, I think religion is just this set of rules for social cohesion. Well, that would also be an argument for God existing as well. Do you know, that's the truth of it. You just got to look at this a little bit deeper.
I think it ultimately comes down to whether I can prove or disprove the existence of God, and I say I can't. So I just chill.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
way
you're
I
here,
approach
bro.
it.
How'd you
I'm
get
only
here?
asking all of this because obviously, like, you have such an influence over so many millions of people around the world with, your discourse and what you talk about. I've always wondered and I've always wanted to know, like, where do you get your moral compass that
This nigga
gives
be
you
eating,
your
bro.
talking
Goddamn,
points,
what
that
the
gives you your positions? Because that's important. It's important to understand the thinking, where you get to this kind of stuff from. So,
The immortal science of Marxist-Leninism and dialectical and historical materialism, I think. But even then, I don't have any sort of like particular orthodoxy that I abide by. But if you are looking for like some kind of contextualization of like what I as closely associated with as, then that's it. That's what I'm that's what I'm closest to in association.
yeah.
That's what I think. I mean, it's not like hardline rules to follow everything by. I think it's just like the closest to describing our reality, at least from my perspective.
Yeah.
I notice Abba has the same exact mindset about Islam. This is the Western influence. This is a born Muslim that sees so much Westernization that they end up leaving their religion. But not even fully, because I do actually believe that he believes in God, and so does Abba. But it's a perfect example that liberalism pushes people away.
But even then, it's not. I don't have any sort of dogmatic approach to anything. So if there's like evidence to the contrary, then I would reconsider. Yeah.
Well, that's also a sign of intelligence as well. It's
Okay.
intelligent people who can change their position when evidence is presented to them. Because if you can't change your position when evidence is presented to you, it shows a lack of emotional dysregularity, ego. So it takes someone with emotional maturity and intelligence to hold different ideas in their head.
I like a lot of the communal aspects of Islam, though, and it's not a secret that I think like growing up in a Muslim society has definitely influenced
Of course it has.
my worldview. Even though I would say when I was growing up in Turkey, I was an edgy atheist. Like I was definitely like very anti-Islam.
And then you came over to a world that doesn't have Islam, and you suddenly began to realize
Well, I just saw the perception of Islam in the West, and I realized like, oh, it's different when like non-Muslims are doing this. But even then, I would say like one of the most significant political evolutions I've had, or worldview changes that I've had, was the hijab ban in Turkey. And Turks will get mad at me for saying this, but like when I was growing up, I thought it was
the
icky.
ban.
Like I like and weird that people were like wearing a hijab.
Yeah.
That was definitely the way that I saw it. And I thought Erdogan's like religious liberty arguments were silly. That it was trying to make society regress. But only after I came to the Western world where I was like, yeah, it is kind of interesting that it was like laicite was forcibly applied to Turkish society.
So he tried to ban the hijab.
No, the hijab was banned.
Oh, okay.
The hijab was banned for Turkish women that were working in like public office or
Yeah.
It was banned or it wasn't enforced to wear? They banned the hijab in Turkey?
not allowed to wear a hijab in Turkey until
That's wild.
Erdogan
Said covering is icky, but walking around naked is completely fine. Yeah, that's a problem with liberalism. It's like, how is, slut walks, how is that not icky?
that Erdogan used that resentment
Yeah.
and anger to his advantage.
Yeah. I mean, that's what. Yeah. It's crazy though to me. It's crazy how when you think about it, like it's men telling women how they should dress. That's what it comes down to. And it's weird to me, like when people in the West say, women
Is
should.
Hassan just the Ataturk of Twitch? Because don't they say that Ataturk is the one who modernized Turkey in order to keep up with the competition growing in Europe? And so Sharia law was no longer enforced and Islam was not taken seriously. And Turkey westernized really quickly. And that was the last caliphate. And basically the Turks sold out the Muslims. And now we're in this predicament.
Wear a hijab. We should ban the hijab or ban the niqab. I'm just like going, why are you trying to legislate in law an item of clothing that women have to remove? It's weird to me that you want women to remove an item of clothing. Just a very weird stance that I feel like,
That was
Are they more free when they're less clothes?
that was what
question.
made me reconsider it.
Yeah.
Where I was like, it does not make sense.
Yeah.
That I don't think women should be forced to wear the hijab, but if someone wants to wear the hijab, they shouldn't face scrutiny
Yeah.
and any sort of repression.
Yeah. I mean, if a woman wants to do an OnlyFans
Yeah.
or wear a hijab, surely we're talking about women empowerment here,
Yeah, they can do whatever. That's my
So why are people so against women wearing a hijab? Is it because women are taking themselves out of the sexual gaze of men when they wear a hijab? And men feel some type of way about that.
I don't know.
And I think you see that when you go to the West.
I don't know
think
if it's necessarily perversion, but I think it's like if this offers someone a sense of comfort and they're not hurting anybody, I don't necessarily care if they're wearing whatever they're wearing. But I think the real reason why there's an anti-hijab
pork hidden.
attitude is not because men are like so horny that they want to see
hidden.
every woman.
Yeah.
Is his uncle Cenk Uyghur a Muslim or is he also liberal, cultural?
But instead, it's because it's like associated with Islam and they're Islamophobic. Here, that's your last one.
Yeah. I'm just giving myself a couple of minutes, a couple of minutes to breathe. We're talking about where you get your morality from, and then you explained it without really explaining it because it didn't come down to the question of like,
Yeah, nice.
where does the morality
Double
come
down
from?
on
'Cause
that
again,
question.
like I say, if there's no God and it's just a bunch of chemicals, and you can't assign morality to a bunch of chemicals because it's all just a change in the chemical composition, whether you feel good or you feel bad about doing something. So at the end of it all, there was no real conclusive answer to what you were saying, which is fine. You don't need to have a conclusive answer. Like, you don't need to have this all figured out. This drives me crazy about these people that preach or whatever. Like, you don't need to have an answer to all of this.
I disagree. I think if you have strong political beliefs, it needs to match a moral framework. It needs to be based on something. Where are you getting these ideas? Why is socialism the way of the world? Why should this be enforced? Where do you get this? Right?
But you just need to be aware. So, it's just interesting to know where you got your morality from because, you obviously have very principled positions on what you take. So it's interesting to know where you get these positions from or how you come to those conclusions. Obviously, look, I'm a practicing Muslim, so I get my positions
Because it's
from
funny, he's saying freedom, free the women of the hijab. Same rhetoric that Trump's using to bomb Iran. But freedom is what brought America to the point that he's criticizing it all day. He's saying that, capitalism went too far, that we need to stand up for the oppressed. These are Islamic beliefs that we need to stand for the oppressed. But if he believes in freedom, then why don't the elites, how come Elon Musk, Trump, the billionaires, why don't they have the freedom to do what they want and control everybody like goy cattle?
Muslim, and I feel that's okay. It's okay to do that. It's
Yeah.
okay. Being a Muslim, guys, is okay.
I think, for sure. For a lot of people, it's just like, I guess the one aspect of, when I was younger, the one aspect of religion that I did not appreciate that caused me to not be a religious person was the dogmatic way of having to enforce things that were not like immediately provable. And I think that's literally like a starting point for a lot of people who like logic themselves out of religion.
Okay.
Also, this is a overwhelming majority atheist community.
Yeah, but that's
This chat is very receptive to Islam. Actually, I was curious what they were saying.
see, that's interesting that you say that, because that's not the religion that has that dogmatic thing. It's the people that are enforcing that religion.
Yeah.
It's the people, and I think a lot of people
Even
also
the interpretation of
yeah, the interpretation of it, and that's what I mean about like religion, especially in the modern world, is like it gets a bad rap, but it's not the religion itself that's doing this. It's the people that are
People are
that
flawed.
are the
No, that's
ambassadors for the
Islam is perfect. Muslims aren't. And so he brought that up first. He said he knows Muslims will do everything but eat pork, but that's not this is not how you describe Islam, right? People sin. That doesn't mean that Islam is wrong.
religion.
That's 100% what I always say.
Yeah,
And I use chattel slavery as an example of this.
right.
Because especially for Westerners, it's a great way to understand it. That religion is like a tool, even in like the most, if you're not a believer, right?
Right. Go on.
What I mean by this is the justification for chattel slavery had religious undertones. Like people use Christianity and the Bible to justify chattel slavery, but so did the abolitionists. The abolitionists, through liberation theology, utilized many of the religious codes of conduct in Scripture to ensure that people understood that this was unconscionable. This was an unconscionable cruelty.
Don't you see it? He sees how religion was used as a tool of empire for Israel, for European nations, and so he has a distaste, right? He criticized Israel so much because they're using religion as a tool to genocide people, and it's made him bitter towards all religion. But is Chad, majority atheists. A lot of them are really receptive, more than I thought. And this guy's giving really good dawah. I can tell that he's aware that he's speaking to a majority liberal audience, and so he's speaking very softly about it. He's not sounding too controlling. He is saying the parts of Islam that are going to be received well by the chat.
So that's the way I see it, and I think it's the most solid approach to this conversation in general is to make sure that people don't take like an anti-religious stance across the board or think less of people for being religious or
He still hasn't answered the question about where he gets morality from.
something that you normally see, especially on the internet, especially in like atheist circles.
Because I think for a lot of people, they seem to think that religion is the cause of all wars and stuff like that. But if you actually read the encyclopedia, it's something like 92% of the wars were started for non-religious issues, like land and resources. And if you look at even
100% of all wars, there's no war that has ever been fought simply on religious grounds. Even the Crusades, that's all bullshit. Religion is the galvanizing factor.
it
It's the way to
galvanizes people.
justify it.
Yes, it is.
See what you're saying? Historical materialism. You're teetering closely at the precipice of a socialist understanding of the world.
Well, look, one thing that I will say about socialism.
Who's proselytizing now?
One thing I will say about socialism,
It's
right?
never worked. No.
One thing I will say about socialism is, especially in this society that we have, these big corporations, right? Whenever they go bust, right? The governments are so against socialism or socialist policies, right? Yeah. But when the big banks are about to go bust or big businesses are about to go bust, we socialize their debt. We pay the taxpayer, and
He's devouring that pork. It's like I've never seen someone eat so much pork, bro.
banks are about to go bust
Bro,
or big
look at
businesses
him.
are
Look at
about
him
to go
go.
bust. We socialize their debt. We
Oh
pay
my-
the taxpayer and we bail them out. But if you're going to lose your home or you can't pay your bills for healthcare, then it's tough luck, pal. Everyone's got to fend for themselves. You made the wrong decisions. Blah 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 blah. There's no socialism for that.
No.
And to me, it just seems crazy to me that like people accept us socializing the debt of corporations while capitalizing on the debt of the average person. That's what's nuts to me. Because it's not that America doesn't believe in socialism. It believes in socialism for a certain type of people. And those people are the corporations and the big 1%. They can be socialized. They can have their assets or their money and their debts all socialized. But their profits are personal and are personalized.
Yeah.
Good dollar from him. There's one more that I wanted to see. And again, he's saying that the hijab is oppressive. I would argue, I do argue that I think liberalism is oppressing women. Right now, women with all of their freedom, hey, do whatever you want. They're now strangling their babies and making the murderers millionaires. I think empowerment is Islam because this is understanding female nature and also male nature and giving specific guidelines to follow to make a cohesive society and also protecting us from our own nafs. Letting people do whatever they want is letting their desires control them, right? But Islam with this framework doesn't impress, it empowers, because this is the highest state of existence, not doing whatever and OnlyFans and, you know, running around naked. Saying that you can do whatever and you'll never be held accountable for your actions is far more of an oppressive society, because then your desires end up ruling you.